We're going to create a website with Webflow using one of their templates. After you sign up for an account, you'll be asked a couple of questions, then you'll have the option to start from scratch or use a template. I find it much easier, especially for beginners, to start with the template and make adjustments to it instead of starting with a blank page. If you'd like to follow along with this tutorial, you can sign up for Webflow using the link in the description. Let's go with the business starter template. Give your site a name. Why don't we first start out by replacing the business logo with the logo for my personal brand. To do that, we'll click on the navigation, and then if we click here, you see the logo image. We'll click on settings, and then we want to replace this image. I don't currently have any images uploaded to Webflow, so if I click here, I can upload something from my computer. I'll select our logo, click upload. Now select the newly updated image, and there we go, we have our logo on the website. Now there's this navigation menu with a bunch of pages. Right now, we're not gonna have all these pages to the website. If you want me to create future videos going through additional things with Webflow, we can do that. But for today's video, let's just create a homepage and we'll have a contact page. This video is sponsored by porkbun.com, the best domain registrar according to USA Today, and our top domain registrar in 2024. To learn more about Porkbun and domains in general, you can watch this video that you'll find in the description. For $1 off the purchase of a new domain or off the transfer of your domain to Porkbun, use the link below or enter the code, the FIG code 24 at checkout. One of the things with Webflow, there will basically be boxes inside of boxes inside of boxes. So different items, as you'll see along the left-hand side, are within other items. So what you'll see here is the navigation, then there's the navigation wrap, which includes the logo, the menu, as well as the button. The navigation items, I'm just gonna have the contact link. So the other ones I can just select and you can see what's highlighted and then just hit the delete button. And there we're just left with the contact link. What you'll see though is there is a contact us button as well as the contact link. We don't need both of them, so I'll just delete this button. One of the things that allows you to customize the site, but can be very confusing, especially for beginners, is the fact that there are elements within boxes, within other boxes, within maybe another box, which is within a section. And so as you're trying to make adjustments sometimes, you have to figure out where that decision is being made. So for example, with the contact right now, what I needed to do is find within the menu, so that's the whole width of the top of the page, that was set as centered. And so if I adjust that to format to the right, then all of a sudden it takes the contact link and throws it along the right-hand side. Now let's update the header. If we click here, you can see it says intro header in blue. So that's what's being highlighted right now. Within style, if we scroll down, you'll see backgrounds. And then you'll see portfolio to y.svg. That's the background that we want to change. If we delete this image, you're going to see now a grayish white background. We could just change it to a different color and it'll update like so. Or if we click on image and gradient, we'll have a few options. This is the first gradient style, so it deleted the color selection we had made, and now we have black and white. Both of these colors we can update. Let's go with this for the first side of the gradient. And the other thing you can see you can adjust is where the 2 points are that they're mixing the colors together. So now the blue is on the left and the white is on the right. Now with this type selected, the one color is in the center and then everything around it blends into the second color. Within Webflow, there'll be variables. So basic things like black and white are set to variables. So you can type things in and see the standard colors, or you can actually customize and create your own value if it's something you want to use continuously. So black and blue, here's what that looks like as a gradient. Now let's click on the plus sign again and let's choose an image. Again, we're going to upload an image, the teleprompter horizontal image. Then select the image and you can see it shows up, but you don't really know what you're looking at here. So you have to play around with the sizing. Custom isn't what we want. Contain, you can see that along the right-hand side, it's replicating the image again. Cover looks like what we want. Then one thing you want to double check with basically anything you add to your website, so images, text, videos, all of that, you want to see how it appears on different devices. So let's see what this image looks like on a tablet, a landscape phone, as well as a vertical phone. I'm cut off there and then completely disappear on the phone version. So what can we do here? So here, I turned the image off. If I click on the image, you can see I have the position down below, and right now it's set to start with the image in the top left-hand corner and go down from there. So what's happening is if you have a narrower image, it's still taking that top left corner and it's pushing me off. So what we can do here is we can select center. So it's going to always, regardless of the size, it's going to chop off both sides equally and always keep the center of the image. So let's see what that'll look like. And then as you narrow down, you can see that, my eyes cut off in the one phone version, but not the end of the world. Then let's update the text. You can just highlight it and I'll add my name. Let's change the font from Montserrat to Lato. And then I think it could be a little bit thicker. Let's change it from normal to bold. And as you see here, you can make adjustments to where you want to show up within this section. Do you want it to be centered like it is now, left aligned, right aligned, full, etc.? Let's leave it as centered. Now let's update all the text below. I'll change it to say entrepreneur, YouTuber, and personal finance expert. One thing, the text is pretty hard to read. It says right here that it's white, but it doesn't look white. If you scroll down a little bit further, you're going to see opacity, and it's only set to 60%. If we bump that up to 100, you can see now the text looks white. Now let's update this button. Instead of the white background, let's change that to maybe the YouTube red color, something like that. I'm going to link to my YouTube course for beginners. So let's say launch your YouTube channel. And then I'll copy and paste a rocket emoji. Then if I click on the button and click on the settings, instead of having it linked to a page within the website, I'm going to link to an external link where we have our course. The website is channellaunchroadmap.com. I'll paste that here. And then I'll also select that I want it to open in a new tab. So it'll leave my page open as well as open a tab for the course. So now I want to quickly show you what I mentioned earlier, where you have elements within a box, maybe within another box. And so you have to figure out when you're trying to make changes where that decision is happening. So for example, right here, I have selected intro content, which has three things. We have my name, the subtitle, and the button. So let's see what happens if we have this selected and we change the formatting from centered to left aligned. And what you'll see is the subtitle and the button move along to the left, but my name didn't move along. So my name, the width of that whole thing takes up the entire intro content. So if I centered or left aligned, it's not going to move. But the things below don't take up the whole width. So they're going to move if I change it from centered to left aligned and back. Now let's start editing the next section. This part where it says label, we don't need it, so let's delete that. Then this heading I want to change to my YouTube channels. This label we don't need, so I'll delete it. And that one we can get rid of as well. And then you can see there are two sections here, and we're going to need three because I have 3 YouTube channels. I'll show you how to just add another one in just a second. So let's change that to the name of the channel. Then we're going to update it with a brief description, grow your business online. Here I'll add a link to our YouTube channel. Then we change the text to something like view YouTube channel. And then here we have the color for the button. Let's change that to maybe a blue like this. One thing you'll notice is you'll see both of the buttons are now the same color. Now what I want to do is replace the image with the video. You can see this about grid, there's 2 elements. There's the div block and the image. What I want to do is to drag a video into this so there'll now be 3 elements. I accidentally dragged it down below, so it was a separate thing, not as part of the about grid. But if I pull that up again, now you can see that it's part of the about grid. There's 3 elements that'll basically go from left to right and then down below. So it started a new row, but what we can do now is delete the image, and then the video is going to pop up to the first row. Now let's add a YouTube video. Copy and paste the link here, click off, and then it'll update with the video. Now that about grid is good, so you have 2 of them. One has the text on the left and the video on the right, and then it's switched for the second one. The third item would have the text on the left, the video on the right. So what I want to do is select the first about grid and just hit Command C and then Command V, and it will paste another one. And now you can see though, we have 2 of them that are exactly the same. And so what I want to do is I want to pull the second one down below the third, or the third one before the second, to get it where it's rotating. So you have video here, and then video here. So this will be greater than enough. Then I'll copy and paste the channel link, paste that here for the button, change learn more to view YouTube channel, update the description to fix your finances. And then here what I want to do is the same thing I did previously, where I want to add a video to the different elements that are part of that grid. And there we go. So we have 3 elements now, and let's delete the image. And there we go. Add the link to a video from the Greater Than Enough channel. And that little section is now updated. Then the third channel, beginning of a business, we'll update the name, then the description, copy and paste the channel link. Oh, I forgot to select open a new tab. I should probably do that for all of them. There we go. And then we want to update the link for the YouTube video. And then here for this section, one, I can't see everything that's involved. Let's actually collapse all the stuff up above it. To see what's within this section, click on the arrows, and then you can see all the elements within this section. One of the things you'll notice, this little barrel looking icon, that's part of a CMS, which stands for Content Management System. So the blog or any other pieces of content that you want to store and display within your Webflow website can be stored within a CMS. This is an area where Webflow really stands out. But if you want to learn more, write CMS down below in the comments and I'll gladly create another video. Instead of this section, why don't I add a different section and then we can go and customize it. You can find pre-made sections within layouts. And then if you click on the starter library, it'll show you a bunch of pre-made layouts. I like this pricing overview. I think that's something we could work with. So you can see it won't let me add it right here, but if I drag it down below CTA or above it, it looks like it'll work. There we go, the section was added. And then what I wanna do is move it above CTA so I can drag CTA down, and then this is the order that I want. Then the company news section will just delete and we're left with the pricing section, CTA, and footer. If we want, we can adjust this section name to something like product overview. And what we want to do is have a quick summary of what one of our courses offers. Then let's update the header to ask something like ready to get started on YouTube. Then I'll update the subheading here. Then I don't think I need these 3 images. I don't have an icon to put there, so I'll just delete them. Then I'm not going to have 3 different pages that I'm sending people to. So for each of the columns, I can delete learn more and the arrow. Then I'll go and update the text for column 2 and 3. One thing I do want is a button where I can send someone to the sales page for this course though. So I'll drag and drop that right here. Oh, it's now above the heading. That's not where I wanted it. Let's see if I move that down below the pricing grid. Okay, so I put it within container 2. Maybe everything is left aligned. So if I change the alignment from left to center, let's see what happens. Yeah, that's everything else is the full width, so that doesn't change, and the button is now in the center. Let's add a link to the sales page, update the text of the button, add the rocket emoji. Then instead of the blue, why don't we update that to red? Something like that. Or even better, if you click on the little icon in the corner of the color and then plus, you can create a new variable. And so the value of the variable you see down below, and let's just call it YouTube for YouTube Red and save it. So to be consistent, so for this color, what we can do is we can just delete the hex code and then hit the plus here and you see the variables. We can type in YouTube and those buttons are now going to be using the same YouTube Red. I'll adjust the text from black to white. Forgot about that earlier. Now let's edit this CTA section. Maybe it could be for someone to schedule a one-on-one session with me and we'll send them to the contact page where they can give me their info and we'll figure out if we're going to work together. So then I'll update the header, the subheader, the text, the button, and let's see where this links to. Well, it's already sending to the contact page. That's what I was going to do anyways, so that looks to be good. And then at the very bottom of the page, we have the footer. We'll double click on it. And then now we want to add an entire footer section, which you can find under layouts. There's 3 options. Let's go with this one. Okay, so the formatting seemed a little weird. Let's delete this stuff along the right. Still seems a little bit off, but let's continue updating. The subscribe newsletter part, let's just get rid of it. All right, so again, with this, we don't need all of these links, so let's just go and delete them. All right, we'll save 2, which is gonna be the home page and the contact page. And then we'll make sure they're linking to the right pages. So choose page, home, and then contact, we'll choose the contact page. And then here, update it to 2024 and add my name instead of company name. So it looks like the footer subscribe, which is in footer wrapper. I think that's what's messing with the formatting. Let's see what happens if I pull that out of there. Okay, and then this footer wrapper, I don't need anymore. I'll delete that. And then that looks a lot better. Now I have the social icons. If I just click on the image and settings, it gives me the image settings, which isn't what I want. I want the link settings. So along the left, you see footer social. If I click on that and then click on settings, then I'm able to add the links for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And before you go and publish a site, make sure everything looks okay on a computer, tablet, and the 2 options it gives you for a mobile phone. Now we could actually go and publish the site, but you can see it gives us this really long URL. I'm going to show you how you can update the subdomain that they give you for free, as well as how you can connect your own custom domain. Click on the W icon and then site settings. Here we can update the site name if we wanted. We can update the favicon instead of Webflow. We can add JJ. Don't forget to save your changes. Then let's go to publishing. Here's where you'll update your Webflow domain. Save the changes, and we can now publish the website to the free subdomain. Now let's connect a custom domain to our Webflow website. You can click on publish, and then down below, add a custom domain. So to connect a custom domain, we need to upgrade to a paid plan. There's 3 options. We have basic, CMS, and business. Basic, if we try to upgrade to this right now, there was a CMS, a content management system, in the template we were using. We have to go in and delete the CMS, and then we could use the basic plan. I'm just gonna upgrade to the CMS plan in case I wanna add a blog to my website. And then you can see there's options for monthly or yearly. It's 20% off if you pay annually. Now it says successfully set up subscription. Now you can set up your custom domains. Within the publishing tab of the settings is where you're going to connect the custom domain. So you see production, and then along the right-hand side, there's the button to add a custom domain. Here, there are 4 options. Quick connect domain, quick connect subdomain. If you're not sure the difference, a domain would be the main website, either just mybiz.com or www.mybiz.com. A subdomain might be something like store.mybiz.com, a sub website off of your main website. Then you have the option to manually add a domain or to buy a new domain. To buy a domain through Webflow, it'll direct you to Ionos, where there's an offer to purchase a .com domain for $1 for the first year. And then as you go further in the process, you'll see that the domain will renew at $17 per year after the first year promo. One of the reasons we purchase all of our domains from Pork Bun is their straightforward pricing and low-cost renewals. A .com domain costs $11.06 for the first year, as well as for renewals. I imagine this business you're starting, you plan to operate for several years, ideally longer. Why pay $6 more per year with Ionos? Also, if you use our link below or the code TheFigCode24 at checkout, you can get $1 off the first year of your domain. Your domain purchase with Pork Bun includes Whois privacy protection, an SSL certificate, DNS management, web and email hosting trials, and amazing customer service by phone or email 365 days a year. With other domain registrars, you could pay up to twice as much for your domain and another $9 to $15 in some cases per year for privacy protection. If you select the Quick Connect option, it'll ask you to log into your domain registrar and it'll add the DNS records for you. This isn't available everywhere, so I'll show you how it's fairly straightforward to add these records manually. So I'm gonna select manually add a domain. One thing I want to do here is select the default. So you don't want to have 2 domains, so you have www and without. Basically, you want to have one that's default. It's easier in general if you go with www, so I'm going to select that as the default. Now what we need to do is to add all the DNS records. So now for the naked domain, so the FigCode tutorials without the www. The thing is with Pork Bun, for host, you're not going to put in the @ symbol, you're just going to leave that blank. Then I'll copy the value and paste that in the answer box and click on add. And then I'll do the same thing for the second A record. And then I'll change from A record to CNAME, copy the value, and then for host, put in www, and then paste the value in the answer and click on add. And then now either from this screen or if we go back to the editor of the web page, we can go to publish. So we don't want to duplicate the site, so I would only publish the production version at www.thefigcodetutorials.com. And we can click on the arrow and it loads at our custom domain. After reviewing the website, I'm noticing there's a few things that aren't right. 1, the favicon. 2, the title of the page, and then some of the links are not opening in a new tab. These are all fixable things, and it's important to review everything before you start actually sending people to your website. You also want to review it on a tablet, phone, not just within Webflow, but actually open it up on different devices. One thing I did notice, the favicon needs to be 32 pixels by 32 pixels. What I uploaded was 100 by 100. So I'll go into Canva and make a smaller image and then upload that. Then the page title, you actually go into the page. So here we have static pages, home, click on settings, and then here I can update that title. And then some of the mistakes with the links, I can go in and just click the box to open in a new tab with all those changes made, publish the site again. Then it's time to start sharing your Webflow website with the world. If you need a domain or want to transfer your domain to Pork Bun to save $1 off the first year, don't forget to use the code TheFigCode24 at checkout. As you saw in this tutorial, Webflow has an endless amount of customizations, especially related to the design of your website. If you're looking to create something unique and custom, this could be the best option for you, but if this tutorial seems overwhelming, you may want to look for a more user-friendly option. You can watch our best website builders video up above right here, or if you want to dive deeper into how to build your Webflow website, watch the video down below. And I'll see you in another video. Bye-bye.